Hello and welcome back to the finish line. And I just told Andrew I can't see. I don't know what I did to myself before we started, but I can't even see the screen.
Lads, we've only just started and I think you're ready to give up, are you? After our 5-minute chat before the show.
We had a discussion at 4 o'clock about not doing an anti-post video because we've loads of racing to talk about from last week and then a lot of races to go over this week. And literally 50 seconds ago, Tom said, "Are we doing an anti-post video?" So to not lose it, I just had to close my eyes for a minute and just woosah.
You went to that dark place and you didn't come back.
I think we should do an anti-post video. I'll tell you what at the end of the show.
Well, I call it shots.
And then,
exactly.
And then Tom said, "Yeah, we did have that conversation, but I disagreed."
I did.
It's like value. You don't always get what you want.
No. So yeah, but anyway, welcome back to the finishing line.
And also, Sean as well. Swear to God, every Tuesday morning.
Oh yeah.
Have them races yet?
Yeah, no,
Monday. Sorry, Monday.
No, it's never Monday now. No, it's never Monday.
Is it?
It's
It
Tuesday.
is Monday.
Today is
Tuesday
Wednesday.
about
night.
4 or 5 o'clock. I text Andrew.
Monday
for
night.
racing.
Can I get them races, or are you going to tell me to jog on? Just take back, jog on.
Jog on, jog on, son, jog on. As I said, we'll touch on some of the racing from last week. Some of the news. We didn't do a review show. There was only the Irish racing, but we'll touch on some of it. There was some
Much happened?
big movers and small movers and all sorts of everything. Then we've racing from Gowarn, Cheltenham, Doncaster, Fairyhouse, Naas. Andrew has chucked in a fucking barrage of races, but we'll get through them all.
I narrowed it down from about 16.
Then we'll do a review show Sunday, and we'll have an anti-post bet each on Sunday.
But not good enough for some of our
Tom is
for some of our members.
apparently not happy about that. The first thing I want
is running on Sunday, so that's obviously what I want to do.
Well, you can give it now if you want.
The first thing I want to
But you have to take him in your anti-post book then.
I will, yeah. I've backed this horse already, so yeah, I'm happy to take it.
All right, Tom, give an anti-post bet. Just do it.
He's not now. Nah, he's not. I was only leading up. Come on, let's go. Last week's racing. This bumper thing won.
No.
Value achieved.
No.
Well done, lads. Still has
Before
to
we
win.
get into this, that last week's
I
racing,
know how to get Sean going now on this. I just
Before
have to
we
mention somebody mentioned it today on the podcast and he goes,
we talked about this before many times. We had a couple of podcasts on this when there wasn't much to talk about, I suppose. COVID and all the rest. Trying to get people involved in racing and into racing and young people into racing and keeping people interested in racing. Cheltenham charging €7 a point, $7.50 a point, because me and Andrew were there in November. And they have a wee little snooker event last week and lower the price of the points to £6. That is fucking scandalous. And then he comes out and says,
I wouldn't want to have to go and pay to watch it anyway, let alone pay $7.50 for a pint.
Snooker is terrible. It's not even a sport. But that's for a different podcast. Then he comes out and says, for smaller events, we can lower the costs.
No, that
Horseshit.
makes no sense.
Because
that does not make sense.
Horseshit, because a bigger event brings more people, brings in more money. So you're talking fucking lies. And it really ticked me off today when I seen it.
Dave, we agree. Wow.
I would agree. Business-wise, you do not lower your prices for smaller events. You up your prices. Because then you get the turnover that would match a bigger event.
Yeah, have your man Jermaine Genius doing this thing to try and get people to the races in the summer and people to go to the races, buy tickets, and you have this shit going on in the background then.
Jermaine Genius?
Yeah, he got employed by the BHA or whoever the fuck it is to do it.
I didn't know what he was doing on the front of the picture. I hadn't a clue what was
he's
going
in front
on,
of the picture
What
again
has
today.
he got to do with horse racing?
He got 20.
Does anybody even like him?
He got 20 grand or something to do it. He's like
do an anti-post show because of time, and you're waffling on about Jermaine fucking Genius.
I'm sick of this, Tom, to be honest. I am. I'm sick of it. Everybody's going on about Dublin Racing Festival and come over to Dublin Racing Festival and they're right. And we should be learning from Ireland. And then you have the likes of Nick Luckham, blah, 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 and tell you then last week, Cheltenham is great and all that. And I love Cheltenham, but you're getting robbed over there. Like.
You're getting charged to park there as well.
Robbed, like.
You're not getting charged like €25 a day, £1 a day to park outside the racecourse. It's like after paying probably over £100 to get in there.
It's like landlords in Ireland. See a good thing. Oh, people want stuff, so we'll just fucking keep upping the prices of everything.
Here we go.
Anyway, the racing last week. The anti-post video caused a bit of a stir. There was comments all over Twitter. There was stupid comments on Twitter. There was great comments on Twitter.
I loved it.
There was all sorts of comments on Twitter, and there was Sean became Beyonce overnight famous. Tom jumped on the bandwagon and wouldn't just leave Sean have it.
Here we go. Here we go now.
But the bumper horse that Sean found and Tom watched and jumped on came out, won very well. Nice looking horse, nice performance. Won on the bridle, even though he pulled for a lot of the race, which to me was a good sign. Gordo pulled out his horse for some reason, don't know. So
he had money on this.
The strength of the form, hard to know, but he's now 4-1, maybe 7-2 favourite for the champion bumper. A great performance, but this is a sign of the times of the disgrace of anti-post betting and how the bookies are robbing punters as well. So we're getting robbed for drink, we're getting robbed for bets. The horse was 10-1 before he even ran, and I'm sure we have loads of followers.
Mackie Rashford.
I'm sure we have loads of followers. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
I'm sure we have loads of followers and thousands of people interacted, but there's no way the finishing line are the simple cause of that horse going 33-1 into 25-1 into 20-1 into 16-1 into 12-1 into 10-1. The bookies are robbing people.
I don't know. I think half of it was me and Sean's cash. So
no. Tom's cash. Hey lads, anyone have a bank account? Anyone have an open account? Looking for a friend here.
But there's two things going on here.
Yeah, tell your story.
There's two things going on here. How do you think you got on the champion bumper? And how do you feel about the ridiculousness of the price dropping so quickly? And is he, should he be 4-1 favourite for the champion bumper?
No. He should be favourite. Yes. Should be 4-1. No. It's a bumper.
Yeah. Okay.
Tom.
I'll go. Yeah, I think he should be 4-1 favourite for the champion bumper. I think that's a fair price. I wouldn't want to lay him at any bigger anyway. I think he looked like an aeroplane. I'm happier with him being 4-1 for the champion bumper now. The 10-1 before he ran was a bit ridiculous, to be honest. I wouldn't have backed him at anything near 10-1 before he ran the bumper. But I think 4-1 now is reflective of what he did. I think it's also reflective of the state of the race this year. We haven't really had a standout bumper performance, which was part of the reason we put him up. That's it really. I think 4-1 is fair now. I think 10-1 before the race was a bit silly. Yeah.
Sean, happy?
Yeah, well, I was very happy with the performance. How could you not? Like, he won on the bridle. The money before it was ridiculous. The commotion that happened all over the place as soon as we put this podcast up was some journey, let me tell you that. He's backed off the boards. I think I'd say the YouTube video that had the point up has its most views ever. I'd say they're buzzing with their life. But in terms of the bumper, like the horse that finished in fourth, Run for Harry, was 9 lengths behind Better Days Ahead and 4 behind Chapu Saloi. So there's a bit of a line there, and he was beaten 14.5 lengths by It's For Me on the bridle. So we have a bit of a form guide there. I think he's very good. I think he does deserve to be favourite. I think in a year where nothing's screaming at the moment, we've seen Queen's Gamble. I thought she was the standard to go on me. I think he's definitely going to match it with that performance. I definitely think he deserves to be favourite.
Do you think he'll win?
Win the bumper?
Yeah.
Anything could win that bumper.
Think he'll win?
On what we see now, yeah, probably.
It's
just that the bumper it's just mental. Anything can improve. Any amount. Like you look at Q Cars here, he was 50-1 when he won it. Relegate one of the 25s. There's been a lot of 20 double figure prices. It's well done for picking him out. Yeah.
I think he done it with that swagger. Like I know you.
Oh, he looked.
Yeah.
He looked unbelievably well, but then
we were joking about the point
horses
of
that
point,
age with that few runs behind him, anything can beat. But does he deserve to be favoured? Of course he does.
Tom, do you think he'll win?
I do. Yeah, I said on the show, and you said you were going to hold it to me, and you can now. I think that I honestly think he could be the next superstar, based on his point-to-point run, and the bumper run just enhances that. I honestly think this is the next, like, God knows. I don't want to put any label on him, but I think this is a hell of a horse.
Sean, do you think he'll win?
Oh yeah, I definitely wouldn't be swapping him now. He travelled through that whole race, as you said, hard on the bridle the whole way around, and he didn't even flick a muscle, and they sprinted down that hill. He put them to bed very neatly, and as you seen Patrick Mullins, he didn't even change his hand, and he gave a bump in the saddle, and he was straight back up. That's normally a good sign, to be honest, that there's plenty left under the bonnet there, and I wouldn't be swapping it for anything.
I found it strange that he didn't ride him out the line. That Patrick usually does that to see what's there.
Personally,
I know he's miles clear, but he usually does that on all the good bumper horses.
I enjoyed Patrick's interview after us. He said he doesn't do a lot at home. So I wouldn't have thought until the other day Patrick would have chosen him in the bumper. I don't think he'll win. I think, like Andrew, anything could win the bumper this year.
From what we have seen right now, he's by far the best. It's just that thing with the bumpers. You'll always get something that's going to improve hand over fist for a bit of spring ground. And
six of the last 8 winners of the bumper were single figure odds. So I do think we narrow it down quite well now. And, we've seen some really good wins. Really well.
Look, don't get me wrong. I hope he wins for everyone that's backed him at 25s.
Yeah. I just think even we were saying in the point of
it's just not a race that would never excite me.
Yeah. Okay. Allegory Devassi was out. Tom has her as one of the anti-post bets. She jumps to her right. I don't think there's no denying that. Very much like Gaelic Warrior. It would be a worry going around Cheltenham. How this horse again was cut by the bookies, only fractionally, tiny little bit, but cut nonetheless. I don't know. I just can't understand it. But otherwise, she's a big mare. I think she is probably braver than she needs to be, and that's the trouble with her. I presume if you're an Impervious fan, you are quite happy, and you're happy to take her on. But otherwise, not a bad performance. Andrew?
Look, she beat they didn't want to get near her in behind, so don't even look into what she beat. That jumping out to the right is a big issue. She can have the biggest engine in the world, but going around Cheltenham at jumping that far out to your right is a massive issue. We've got our fingers burned before with Get a Bird in the Supreme. Asterion Falange done it as well.
Yep. What
I think is going to be massive, she got away going at that speed, at her own speed, going around. Where was it? Where's she running? But if you're going around Cheltenham, you're going to go at race speed. If she goes down to a fence halfway through the race and she's getting taken on by Impervious or whoever, or bring her that extra stride faster than she wants to be, it's going to be a massive issue. And it's exaggerated over fences as well because she had put a lot more effort into it. It's a massive worry. I wouldn't back her now after that. That's my God answer. I love her. Off her debut at Cork or wherever it was, Limerick, was spectacular. Then the last day put me totally off. It's just on the base that I've seen it happening before with horses who look like have a massive engine. Then they went the other way around and they just felt bits. So I would pass on her right now. I'd be Impervious now.
Tom?
Yeah, look, I think it is a concern. I think going back to the furthest race, I didn't think she did masses wrong at the fence at the first. I just don't think Paul was expecting that to happen in a million years. He just dropped his hands on her, kicked her in the belly, and said, "Go on, then off you go and do what you did at the last day at Limerick." And she launches herself out to the right, and he just wasn't expecting that. He's grabbed a hold of her then, and it hasn't happened. He hasn't come anywhere near falling off her again throughout the race.
But she's still doing it.
She was still doing it, yeah. Now, what I did is I went back and watched her races in France because they were all 4 runs are on left-handed courses. Now, slightly different. They're a lot more galloping. But interestingly, she did do it during the races. She didn't win in France. That doesn't quite help. But she was placed and not beaten far. And later in the race, when she was actually racing and flat out racing, she was pretty straight, as in she was straight. So I think it was interesting to hear what Ruby was saying as well. You know, in a better class of a race, horsing her outside where she's actually got a race. And you say, Andrew, they didn't want to get near her. She was just having a schooling session and she's just started jumping out to her right. Now, it is a concern. There's no doubt about it. But after watching those French races and thinking about, you know, when she's going to stride quicker, will she stop doing it? I think there's definitely potential that she will. I think she's got such a massive engine that she'll potentially get away with it. If you look at that mare's chase, there's the 2 Spencers in the straight. The rest of them are a good bit of the way out, and they don't get racing really until they're either coming to the third last or just after the third last. So she's got the 2 in the straight to take on, and I don't know. I still think she'll be okay. Impervious is clearly a very good horse. I backed Allegory Devassi, but yeah, look, it's a concern. But
now, is the other side of it as well? Does Impervious not just have the better form right now as well? She's at the beating the boys, giving them weight.
Yeah, Journey with me is a dog though. Sean,
still though, she's at the running in better class. Now, this is the thing as well, which I will always say about Cheltenham. She has not had a race yet. She's not had a race. She's had 2 schooling sessions. Impervious has had proper races. She's going to be more drilled and streetwise than Allegory Devassi is, and I think that counts for a lot when you take into the atmosphere, the build up to Cheltenham, and everything that comes with Cheltenham for horses. I think that's a huge plus as well for Impervious.
Sean.
Yeah, how Paul Townend set on her at the first, I'll never know. I just think he came up over and he did extremely well. I just think she was bone idle going down to that. She's looking around, as you said, there was nothing around her. And I've no doubt that she is the best horse in that race. And Mare Chase, I think she's a better horse than Impervious. The jumping would worry me. We've seen Colreevy get away with it. Remember the year she won? She was jumping out right.
Yeah, but she had a lovely little wall to bang into with stupid Mark Walsh having Ellie May on the outside of her.
Of course, yeah. No, there she did have that, but I just think if there's horses around her and she's a lot more focused, we might see her straightening up. I'd hope. But going forward, I wouldn't be laying on anyways. I'd be having her over Impervious every day of the week.
Yeah, for me, it was a worry. Sunday, she has a bit of an error in her, but barring errors, I think she'll win, and I think she'll win well. I think when she had her mare's hurdle last year and she beat Brandy Love, I thought she was miles better than all the other novices. I think her standard could be miles higher than Impervious and Scarlet and Dove. Although they are good mares, couldn't get the words out there. I think Allegory could be talent-wise a mare like Benny and a mare like from Mag and a mare like Annie Power, and
she has it all.
And those mares are just going to be good mares. They're not going to be stars. I think Allegory Devassi could be a star.
And she launches herself. She's so brave. She could be too brave for her own good.
Dicking around though, she was Sunday.
She's literally fucking herself for fences.
Yep. Funny though.
It is right crack to watch.
2 other races. Fakir Dudery does what he does and just picks up races. He got lucky because Hot on Color was going to bolt up. We'll give our thoughts on that. And Embassy Gardens was cut from 33s to 8s for the Bartlett. It was a nothing race. The 2 Gordon Elliott horses bombed out, didn't run a race. He won by 35 lengths though, and the trip definitely suits him. He's definitely a 3-miler, probably be a good chaser in time. How do we feel about these races? Fakir just doing what he does, and Embassy Gardens probably too short.
None of them have a hope in Ryanair. Allaho could be half it, and he's going to beat these. If Allaho doesn't turn up, Blue Lord beats him.
Correct.
Yeah. Plain and simple. I think the two of them are just miles clear. Fakir Ditter, he's the second favourite. You can keep him. I don't care if he's been chasing Allaho's tail for the last God knows how long, and he's not getting any better. Blue Lord's getting better. If he turns up, he wins. Valo turns up, he wins. Embassy Garden, give me a break. That race fell apart quicker than my body did after football.
Tom.
Yeah, a lot of Fakir seems to be running a little bit below form this year for me. He's not running as below form as Shaq and Passois, but he is running below form.
Yeah, Shaq was in the race. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I think I said to somebody, I can't remember where I said it now, but Shaq just on him, I'd either consider retirement or what I would probably do is one last swan song at Punches.
Cross country.
No. I'd keep him fresh. I wouldn't go anywhere between now and Punchestown. I'd just get him revved to the eyeballs. And he loves Punchestown. It's unlikely they'd win, but that's what I'd probably do. Yeah, Fakir is a bit below. Horton Colours, what do you make of that, lads? Is he improved?
There was a lot. There was a fair bit of money from leading up to it. I saw the night before he halved in price, so I'd say they think he's at the improving with he's at them, as we say, he's at the improving for money.
Nah, look, I couldn't trust him. I think he runs well every now and again, and then he'll just spam out the next day. He'll probably, wherever he runs next time, he'll probably be favoured or that, and he fucking won't win. Like so.
What I'll say on your question there, Tom, do they think he's improved? I don't think they do because they haven't entered him in Cheltenham.
Yeah, he's not entered.
Oh, they have. They might have entered in the stairs or something like that. They haven't entered the Ryanair or anything like that.
And then Embassy Gardens, yeah, I don't know if you believe that form. It's a bit like believing Gaelic Warriors winning Tramore. If you believe that, then he should be like, his Thyestes Hurdle horse today, shouldn't he? So, yeah, I don't know. I've got my horse for the Bartlett is Free Card Bragg. Somehow I've missed a week and I haven't put him up on the bloody show. I've after timing now, but I have managed to back him at 25s, I think, or 22s, I think it was. But for me, he's the bottom.
Ballymore.
Sean.
On Fakir, I was disappointed, as Tom said. I don't think he's the horse that he was last season. I'll be a little bit worried about him going forward now. I know a few people thought he was a good each way bet for the Ryanair, but I couldn't be touching him after that. And had Don Colours come down, I had a little look. He was only 5 lengths behind him in the John Dorkin. And if he's improved for a run, like, I know 5 lengths wasn't too hard to find, but he was going to beat him by I don't know how much. Fakir was off it from 3 out nearly. I didn't like his win at all now, to be honest. I couldn't be touching him going forward. I'd have to let him go now. And Embassy Gardens is favourite for a Bartlett, and that is an absolute disgrace. I wouldn't be having him at all. He did improve. He was running against nothing. The horse in behind was nowhere at Christmas. I wouldn't be taking that form too literal, running by 30 plus lengths. And his jumping can be sketchy. So I wonder, for a couple of horses around him in an Albert Bartlett, is that going to come back if he's jumping?
I throw that form right out the window because the horse, Gordon's horse that pulled up the Davies one, he was only a head or neck behind him in a bumper.
He's a dog, that Santonito fella.
Gordo's horse is still not running great. He's had 1 or 2 winners.
3 winners now the last couple of days. He's getting ready for Dublin Racing Festival.
He's getting ready for Thyestes tomorrow. Boom.
Dublin Racing Festival. Okay, we'll kick on with the racing. Gowarn tomorrow, Thyestes Day, big day up in Gowarn. Good day out. First one is the Galmoy Hurdle, 2:15. I get the betting up.
1 to 2 1, 9 to 2. That's the first 2 in the market. I can remember looking at it.
Thanks for telling me. The John Mulhern Galmoy Hurdle, grade 2. Tia Hoopo, 1 to 2 favourite. Longhouse Poet, who won the Thyestes last year. 4 to 1.
He did, didn't he?
He did, because he robbed me and Tom. Franco de Port. Somerville Boy, I'll never forgive him. Somerville Boy, 10 to 1. Beacon Edge, 11 to 1. Early Doors, 33 to 1. And My Design, 50 to 1. Tia Hoopo?
Yeah, a lot in his favours. Beat Honeysuckle and Hatton's Grace. Will love the trip, will love the ground. Himself and Longhouse Poet, we 1-2, Beacon Edge, and the rest of them are searching for form slower than people are searching for the Titanic sinking. So I'd say they're just the top 2.
Tom?
Yeah, it's tough for me. This, I think Tiupu's probably the most likely winner. Would I back him 1-2? Not a chance. So yeah, I'll sit that one out. But yeah, Tiupu for gun to the head.
You double him up, whatever you're backing in the Thyestes.
Sean?
Yeah, Tiupu wins here. He gives them all £9. He loved the conditions. I'd really like to see him put a stamp on this now. I'd back Florian Porter for the stairs, but I wouldn't want to be on him now with the 50-50 what they're saying. I wouldn't like that at all. So I'd love to see Tiupu put a stamp on this. I wouldn't rule him out as an outside chance in it. He might be ground dependent. That would be the only thing. Longhouse Power, I think he's out to not do any damage for his Grand National mark. So I'd say these could be strung out like the washing coming home. If the UP was going to win this, I think.
A word of warning: Classical Dream was turned over at like 1-4 or 1-something in this last year as well.
He was, yeah, and it was sort of a late decision that William Mullins kicked himself over for a long time, wasn't it? But I just think these could be spread out like the washing, and the UP, if he's going to win, could do it by 10 lengths.
I just hope we see it. There's no fog.
Hopefully no fog. I would be the same with Tom. I don't really trust Teahupo at 1-2. Although he looks like he'll stay, he needs to prove that he gets 3 miles. And on that ground up there, it's going to be very heavy. I think Longhouse Poet has a decent enough chance. He's a good horse on his day. Won Thyestes last year on the card, so I give him a shot, but I would not trust Teahupo.
Wouldn't you?
No, not
Why?
at all.
I won't back it, but why?
I just think he needs to prove that he stays 3 miles properly, and it'll be a good test tomorrow. Longhouse Poet say go out in front, and
I think
he didn't come out of a point to point either, so he does have all the distance to prove. But I just that run at the start of the season was very good. In fairness to him, now if he does stay the trip, I don't think he's going to have any problems putting these away.
He's beat 2 multiple Grade 1 winners. Moneysuckle and Classical. I love Flat Tracks Dream and Cheltenham over 2 miles. Get that in
there. The Thyestes 250.
Love this race.
A good race every year. It's hard to get the winner of. Carefully Selected is now favourite 6-1. Yeah. Ascaria 10, 7-1. Pencil Full of Lead 7-1. Espinito Bello 9-1. Gabby's Cross 10-1. Punitive is a mad little horse. 11-1. Frontal Assault 12-1. Donkey's Years 12-1. Darren's Hope 12-1. And 14-1 Bar. Are we going at the top of the market or an outsider, or what's going to happen here?
I have 2 little stats here for you today just before we start. One winner of the race has carried top weight the last 20 years. Could you tell me who that was?
Number 6, Valverde.
Jack Adam.
The Jack Adam in 2015. And the last 7 winners have all carried less than 11 stone 7, and that would rule out the top 3 in the market at the moment.
Stats are made to be broken.
Of course, it was just 2 interesting stats that I found.
So he's going to put up the top weight now.
Sean, you can go first.
Yeah, so I had a little swing here, and it's going to be Punitive at 11-1 each way.
Yeah, Sean, what a legend of horse.
Yeah, he won the Porterstown the last day over 3 mile 5 in heavy ground, and he really stayed onto the line. I think one thing you need to guarantee if you're picking a horse in this race that he stays all day, because the ground tomorrow is going to be some work, I imagine. All his wins have come in soft and heavy, as I said, which he's probably going to get tomorrow. And I think the last day he done nothing when he hit the front, and he might have a little bit up his sleeve. And a nice weight at 10 stone, 12 pounds, and Gainford on his back. I think he could be in the mix.
Andrew.
I like 2 in this. First one, Pencil Full of Lead. He very interested. His run last time behind Blue Lord was very, very eye-catching. He came there looking like he was going to put in a real good effort, but he blew up like a horse that needed a run. He's in here now off 11 stone 4 when you take into consideration Rob James, 7 pounds. It leaves him with a right chance. He had good form a few years back. He's at having 2. I presume there was something around him because he had a 300 something day break and another 300 something day break. But but he comes in here on the back of that with a very, very good chance. He's a bit of class to him. And he strikes me the horse that will just love the trip, and the ground won't be any problem. Ascaria 10, I can't have him at all. I think this horse will be talked up so much, so many times. His last win was nearly over 2 years ago. Yeah, he's one now I would scratch off. But Frontal Assault is interesting, Dave. I think going back around right-handed, I think he's a much, much better horse going right-handed. He was second in the Irish National off 1 pound lower. So he's come back down on low weights. He'll act on the ground. There's no fear about him staying the trip. He started off the season winning at Galway, winning quite well, quite comfortably, even though he had 1 or 2 sketchy jumps. And then he won last season going right-handed again. So I think we're back right-handed, 7 pounds off his back. I think he has a right chance. I actually backed him during the weekend. He posted he was 20-1, so I had my Monday free bet from Paddy Power on him for that. So I'll be expecting him to run well. I see interest now that Barry Connell's horse has been back from 33s into 9-1. How I don't know, but that's a lot of money. But pencil full of lead and Frontal Assault 2 for me in the Thyestes.
For me, my main one is Barry Collins' horse, Espinito Bello. I liked him a couple of years back. I think he ran the Irish National as a novice. He had good form behind Coco Beach, who went on to win the Thyestes 2 years back. He's been back over hurdles, obviously trying to get fit. Stable's been in good form all year. Money is down. I think he has a good chance. Gabby's Cross is interesting, but probably a little bit too high in the weights. And of Gordon's ones, I would side each way with Fakira. Struggles to win, but I think he'll run a decent race. He was second to Punitive. Sean already mentioned Punitive. Then he's second to Royal Thief the last day. He's carrying a lot of weight, and he's in here then off 10 stone 7. He's one of these Gordon chasers. They keep running well in 3 mile chases and 3 mile plus chase. Eventually pick up a decent win and probably never win again after that. So, Tom.
I was going to put up Carefully Selected.
Carefully Selected.
Shock.
Yeah. But when I was looking at the race earlier, he was about 8 or 9-1, I think, and he's now 6-1, which is plenty short enough. I thought he ran a nice race at Leopardstown at Christmas. I know he travelled into it like nearly the winner at one stage and then just blew up. Willie was quite keen on him today in his interview. Presumably that's why he's been backed. Willie does target this race obviously as well as his local course. So look, I think he's got a hell of a chance, to be honest. Even though it's a big weight, I think your class can come to the fore in this race sometimes. Darren's Hope is the one I give a shout out to, which I said last week as well. Can run very nice races in races that you think that she won't run a good race in. I think she'll stay pretty well, and she's got a really light weight. I'd be fairly confident of her being in the first 4 or 5. I think if you can get those place terms. I see some people are going first 6 tomorrow. So I think they're interesting. Cocoa Beach would interest me as well. Just a spark of revival in the Troy Town. And I think, 60 days now between then and this race. Woodett off 138 with Jack Kennedy on board. Is off 145 with Ben Harvey taking 5 off. So it's near enough its last mark. And I think Ben's worth that play. So, those would be my 3, but I'm not particularly strong on anything, especially Carefully Selected now gone pretty short. But I think he'd be the overall selection.
Okay, we'll go on to Cheltenham. We'll do all Cheltenham races on Saturday first, then Doncaster, Fairyhouse, and we have a race on Sunday from Naas. First one we won't spend too long on. It's the 120, the rearranged Clarence House. A little bit better race as a spectacle. We've more runners, but Energamene is 8-15. Edward Face 15-8. Editor the Geet 11-1. Amarillo Sky 40s. Fun and Ball, Sibilla, and Size and Potsy 40s and 100s respectively. Same as last week. We'll make this short and sweet. Energamine. Andrew.
Energamine.
Tom.
Yeah, Energamine. And the only other thing is, imagine if Editor Jazzy would have ran in any of those bloody handicaps.
We would be sitting in the boy right now.
I backed him today. Won at Christmas, remember? Sean.
So much money.
Yeah, I'm a Energamine. There's definitely a little dynamic change. Like Editor the Geek wasn't there with Ascot last week, and he's gonna lead now. I'd just be interested to see if what they'll do with Energamine. I'd be interested to see if
they'll drop him in behind. He can go anywhere. He can go from the front. You can drop him out stone last. You can put him in the middle. You can put him anywhere.
Yeah.
Energamine.
Simple. It's a good race though. It'll be set up nice. It'll be running a good clip. Best horse to win. There shouldn't be any excuses.
Okay, the 150, the Paddy Bear Cheltenham Countdown Podcast Handicap Chase, 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs. One of these handicaps like the Paddy Power and December Gold Cup and so on and so forth. The betting is Fugitive is 6-1 favourite, Il Redoto 6-1 joint favourite, Stolen Silver 8-1. Gal Law probably runs at Doncaster 10-1. Your Darling 11-1. Brave Shaska 12s and 14-1 Bar. Anyone have a decent selection in this? Tom, you can go first.
Yeah, the one I am going to go for is Stolen Silver. I know he's got plenty of weight, but he's so consistent in these races. Sam Thomas is having another good season. Obviously won the Welsh, was it the Welsh National? No, sorry, the Classic Chase with I Will Do It, who won the Welsh National last year. Recently, he's got a lot of weight. He's got a high rating, but he ran second to Midnight River off of 150 a few months ago, and he was clear of Nasalam and Il Redoto. So I think he's so consistent in these races that I definitely want to be on him again, I think.
Sean?
Yeah, Tom stole me show. I'm on Stolen Silver myself here. At Fugitive the last day, he won at Chepstow well. I wonder if the ground helped him. Il Redoto, now that's a right dog. If he going down to the last one, any chance, scrap him. He's a right dog. He won't give anything off the bridle. Nothing. Zero you're getting off him. But Stolen Silver, as Tom said, he came second to Midnight River the last day. I think Sam Twiston-Davies might use him a little bit more here. He got a little bit outpaced from the top of the hill down to the last. He looked like he could come fourth or fifth. But after the last, he stormed up the hill and gave a good running. I think he might use him a little bit more here out in front. And Stolen Silver at 8-1, I think is a good bet.
Andrew?
I'm going to take a chance with Carl Felipe, Fergal O'Brien's horse. He's 1 win and a second this season. He's been in pretty good form. He beat a horse called... He beat Zamza, who went on to then win at Newbury the time after. So that performance thanked. He then backed that up with a fairly decent run at Weatherby. He's beaten by the Paddy Pie, but he was 10 lengths clear third again. Yeah, I think you get a good run for your money in a race that's wide open. At 14-1, I agree totally with Sean. I think that El Redoto is an absolute El Rototo, whatever the fuck you say. He's an absolute, he's a pig, he's a dog. But yeah, Carl Felipe, 14-1. I'll have a bit of that.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I don't really have the strongest opinion. If he runs drop back and trip, I'd like Your Darling, Ben Pauling's horse. He travels really well. He didn't stay the last time. And if Cool Cody ran, I would 100% back Cool Cody because he just runs great at Cheltenham. And
there's a plan with him, though, isn't there? There's got to be a plan with him.
Cheltenham again.
I'll still back him, though, just in case.
If he's down £2, he's back to the mark he won at the festival.
He's up to 151. He won at the festival last year off 145. So if he runs bad again...
He's off 147 now.
Oh, he's off 147. Well, he's just about there to win again, Tom.
That Your Darling is not also a pig.
No, he didn't stay the last time.
No, he'll win first time out. He won't win again for the rest of the season. Those are the whole goddamn time.
The 225. The Paddy Power Cotswold Chase Grade 2. The Rat is 13th-8 favourite. Noble Yates 2-1. Sounds Russian 7-1. Frodon 15-2. The Mad Scottish Horse Ahoy Senor 8-1 and 12-1 Bar. Sean, you with the Rat.
Yeah, right. I have a question here now. Nobody Yates is the same price at 13-8 here. How on earth is he second favourite for a Gold Cup? What has he done to be deserved to be second favourite for a Gold Cup? Like that victory at Aintree, he beat a Thrasher who doesn't stay that distance. He beat a Hoy Senior who didn't jump a twig. I think he has a lot to prove here now. The rat, as we call him, Dave, he'd be well clear on form here for me. He was very good in the Betfair, but I just can't get over that nobody else is the same price as him here, and he's second favourite for the Gold Cup.
Andrew,
I'd be siding with Nobly Yates. The Rat, he's a decent horse. He's good. Nobly Yates, Grand National winner. Look, he was a handicapper. He is trained by a man who was becoming a little master at this game. His win at Aintree was spectacular, to say the least. He took off like he was only after being dropped into the race. Now, he has to prove he can do it again. He has to prove he can do it against this caliber of horse. He has to prove he can do it away from Aintree. I, honest to God, hand on heart, will not be having a bet in this race. It's a race where I don't think any of them are going to win the Gold Cup. And as Sean said there, the more I look at this Gold Cup, the more it's just crying out, Gowran Park is going to win this by half the track. It's a piss poor Gold Cup when you come away from Gowran Park. And as Sean said, he has no right to be second favourite. That's just telling you how bad the race is. The rest of them are much and much. Yes, Protectorat was really good at in the Betfair Chase, but he was well and truly put in his place in the Gold Cup last year, and he always finds a way in the big days to lose, and I can't see anyone in this race winning the Gold Cup. But I
probably makes it not a big day then.
What?
Probably makes it not a big day then.
What?
As in, you just said Protectorat finds a way to lose in the big days, which I agree with, but I think this is not a big day. So
it's not. He's like it's a bad renewal again. It's a Gold Cup trial by name. That's it.
Tom.
Yeah, I'm with Protectorat here. I think he's a cracking bet actually. If you look at his Cheltenham form over fences, he's had 3 runs. He's 17-length win in a Novice Chase. Let me find it. Yeah, second he was in the Paddy Power, which I think we all agree he should have won, and that was over 2 mile 4. He wants further, and then he's been third in the Gold Cup. His Cheltenham form is very good. On the flip side, then Nobly Yates. As Sean said, I don't know how this horse is second favourite for a Gold Cup. I just don't understand it. There's at least 3 or 4 horses I'd have above him. His form, he's had 1 run at Cheltenham in a handicap, and he's got absolutely lapped. His win, which is the only piece of form that is making him second favourite for a Gold Cup, is his win last time out. Which, as Sean said, you can go through the form there. Dasher Drasher, Ahoy Senor didn't jump. Sounds Russian as a handicapper and gets exposed in graded company. And it's also Aintree, a course which he clearly goes very well at, having won the Grand National there last year as well. So I don't know, I just don't understand his price for the Gold Cup. And I think Protectorat, Dan Skelton's going a bit of a different route now this year and really focusing on that Gold Cup. He's had 1 run in the Betfair Chase, which he's absolutely bolted up. He's going to have another run here, which I just think he'll bolt up again, to be honest, and then straight to the Gold Cup. I think he's target training very well with this horse, and I just think he's a lot better than these.
Yeah, I find it hard to make head nor tails of it. Protectorat bolted up, but Aplutard didn't turn up. So what kind of a race was that? Bristol de Moy is about 100, and he was behind him. Eldorado Allen just plods on in every race and kind of comes second, third, or fourth. And Frodon is what he is. I think it's a terrible race that he won. Nobly Yates, like Sean and Tom have said, I just can't understand why he's so short in the betting for the Gold Cup. So it's hard to know what to do. And if he was 8s or 10-1, I'd back Ahoy Senior each way in the hope that he's not a fruitcake anymore and maybe jumps in.
He's always going to be a fruitcake.
He probably is just going to be a fruitcake forever, but there's some sort of talent in there because he's won 2, a great one over fences and a great one over hurdles. So But yeah, I'd having the Scooby-Doo, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just bad.
He's talented. It's just not happening for him this season.
Yeah, if that's what I'm saying, if he's 10-1 and there's 8 runners, I'd back him each way, and he'll probably fall. But sure, it is what it is.
He falls 6 lengths clear at the last.
The 3 o'clock at Cheltenham, the Cleeve Hurdle Grade 2, Paisley Park 11-10, Gelino Bello 7-2, Dashel Drasher 9-2, Molly's Ollie's Wishes 10-1 and 14-1 bar. Are you with the favourite, Sean?
I'll be honest now, this will be a no bet race for me. I think the market's right. I wouldn't be taking even money on Paisley Park at 11, although this is his track. He's on the new track. He has the 2 hurdles and he has 7 days to get going. It'd be interesting to see for me, Gelino Bello as the line through Blazing Cal, see how close he is. Like if he finishes down the field in this, I'd be getting a bit worried about Blazing Cal for him. But I think the market's correct, and I wouldn't be taking that short price about Paisley Park.
Andrew?
Give me 11-10 Paisley Park to beat these lot of dogs any day of the week. Like his form is by fucking miles better than anything else in the race. He done a pirouette at the start in this last year and still won. This is his track. Most of us were shocked he won at Kempton. This is his track. There are dogs in behind him. Yeah, I'll have him. And I think Dasher is probably going to follow him home. His form is not too bad. Second behind Noble 8, second behind Marie's Rock is not half bad. But Paisley Park just wallops these.
Tom?
I agree with Andrew. I think Paisley's by far the best horse here, and I think Drasher is probably the each way bet 9-2. But yeah, Paisley's form at this course is very, very good. Outside of his novice season, or his novice race at the festival, where clearly he wasn't ready for that kind of run. He's won 4 and been third twice, and then had his heart issue when he finished 7th. The 2 thirds have both been in the last 2 Stayers hurdles, and he's been beaten 5 lengths and 2 3/4 lengths. Like as Andrew said as well, he whipped around at the start and still won this. I'm not buying the Gelino Bello hype. I'm just not having it. And then when you look at, you got Drasher, who, I don't think he's an out and out stayer, but I think he will be placed. And the rest of them, he's just miles better than that, really, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm same as Sean. I wouldn't trust Paisley at even money at 11. And
it's not not trust. I think the market's right for me. I just couldn't be taking it.
Better than anything that's in it.
You're basing them on beating Champ, who's also 11. And
what the fuck have they done?
And Champ has chucked it at Christmas, and he beat Goshen, who didn't stay.
Match bet now.
He beat Goshen that didn't stay, and then you had
match bet right now.
We got a perfect match bet right down the middle here, lads. 2 each side.
Dublin race.
No, I wouldn't be taking. I wouldn't be taking them on any day.
Let me fucking finish.
Sorry.
He beat Miranda and Not So Sleepy were in that race as well. Then the start of the season, the race the Champ won, and he was second in. Thomas Darby was in it, who no one thinks is any good, and Prashima, who everybody understands wins first time out, and then is useless. So like his form isn't great. Like
give me a second.
This year,
give me a second. Useless. Very useless. Extremely useless. Needs to retire. Very, very useless. He wins.
I do think he takes all the beating. Like Gelino Bello form, I don't think it's worth that much. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Drasher doesn't stay.
Andrew thinks Blazing Cal has a chance in the Stayers. If Blazing Cal has a chance in the Stayers, then Gelino Bello will beat Paisley Park because he's a 6-year-old.
Why? On what basis? Because he beat him a year and a half ago.
He's a 6-year-old.
Paisley Park now for a horse that we haven't seen yet.
Will you let me fucking finish?
I'm just saying a point.
He's a 6-year-old. He's improving. I'm positive he would have won the Chase at Christmas.
And he's coming down from fences as well.
He's putting him back over hurdles because obviously he had a bad fall. I'm not going to blame anyone but Bryony because it was her fault. And I'm positive he would have won that race at Christmas over fences. I like him as a horse. He's progressive, so I'm all for Gelino Bello.
He fell 4 out.
He was off the bridle and niggled along. That's why he fell.
Wow.
So was Time Hill. They went too fast, sure.
And who stayed on his feet and won?
Time Hill. We just discussed that, Tom. I said Gelino Bello fell. Did you not listen?
Yeah.
Are we getting? Hold on now. Before we move on, are we getting this match bet?
Are we getting a match bet, Dave?
I want a match bet.
No, I'm not doing a match.
See, he bottle it,
Ball
Tom.
jobs.
Bottle it.
Absolute ball jobs.
The 3:35 at Cheltenham. Grade 2 Novice Hurdle over 2 mile 4.5 furlongs. Pembroke 3-1 favourite. Henri the second 7-2. We've all been caught 11-2. Hidalgo Bahui 8-1.
What a name.
Hurricane Highway 10-1 and 10-1 Stay Away Faye probably run at Doncaster and 12-1 Bar.
Sorry, not to cut across the Dallo just die.
Hopefully not. I know he had colic.
Hello.
Yeah, Allaho is colic, or not Allaho.
Alti. Jesus, lads. He couldn't have been further wrong. Altio.
That's how you get a rumour started.
Altio is colic. Is that what you're talking about?
That's how you get rumours started, lads.
Wow.
You
Uh,
see,
You were good for the show last week,
You know what
Sean.
it
And then
was?
Allo dead this week.
I opened up the notifications and I seen the AL. I didn't know. They're like,
No.
hello, it's colic.
Altio is colic.
It was Alfio.
Hopefully,
Don't-
Altio, no, he's he's critical. Like he might not survive, but hopefully he does.
He's a warrior.
I'll take this one first, and I'll go with Evan Williams' horse, Hurricane Highway. I was impressed with how he won the maiden hurdle. I like the horse he beat, Firestream, so I think he's a good each way chance.
Yeah, well, before you go on to lads, I think I'm the same as you.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought you would have gone for the Twiston Davis horse, but I think he needs 3 miles. Tom?
Yeah, well, you've just taken my line away from me there. I would go for the Twiston Davis horse, but I think he needs 3 miles. He just looked like a big galloper. It depends if he gets it his own way in front, which I doubt he will, but he'll try and turn this into a proper stamina test. And he'll try and run the finish out of my selection, which is Pembroke. I just think this lad, the way he's won the last few times, he's looked an absolute weapon. I don't know what happened at Chepstow the first day, but he just didn't run well at all. Finished 7th.
He was still learning that day, I think.
Yeah, he was keen and whatever, and I don't know. But he went off 11-4 to beat Tamaras, the poor Nichols horse, who's obviously very well fancied. So I think that shows that he obviously works well at home as well. He's then come out and bolted up twice. I think he's ready for this next test now, and it'd be interesting to see how he runs here. Stay Away Faye, I've taken it. She's going to go to Doncaster, or he even. It was quite interesting in him, but yeah, we'll see. Pembroke for me, but I think we've all been caught highlighting the old It's For Me form would be.
2 of them in here, Tom.
What's that?
The horse that was behind It's For Me is in this race.
Who's that?
Rock My Way.
Oh, yes, the horse who was second. Yeah, he's probably a little bit overpriced, actually, isn't he?
Yeah, the clue. Sorry, not clue.
I didn't realise he was in this race. No, he ran a cracker the first day. Yeah, he's probably got a good each way chance, actually. Wouldn't put you off him at all.
Of course he does.
Just on Twitter, right? 2 things piss me off with Twitter.
Come on, Tom, get them out.
People who were there saying, sure, you were only guessing because the horse had never ran before. There's literally a video of the horse running that anyone could have watched. Anybody, right? So the horse had run before. Absolute bullshit, right? Then, number 2 was some idiot said, and I'm sorry, you could be a really nice gentleman. I'm not sure.
What's his name?
You said, but I can't remember. I didn't look that much. But he said, based on the horse's form, it had nothing to show it would even win a maiden hurdle in England.
I was going to retweet it. I'm not going to lie.
Stop punting. Seriously, stop punting.
Sean.
Yeah, I go for the Twiston Davis horse, and here we've all been caught. As Tom said, I think he's going to try and go off the front here. I wanted to take on the favourite just because I just worry about the trip. I'd be interested to see if We've All Been Caught makes this a proper stamina test. He goes off the front. He jumped a hell of a lot better than the first day. and he's still raw. Like if you look at him the whole way down the straight, his ears pricked. I don't think he's doing a tap. He's just doing what he has to. And he'd be staying on all day. So I hope Sam Twiston-Davies makes us a good stamina test, and I think he has a good chance.
Okay, we're off to Doncaster. The 130, the Lightning Novices Chase, Grade 2, 2 miles, half a furlong. Tommy's Oscar, 7-4 favourite. Boot Hill, 2-1. Haddocks the Zobo, 5-2. Unexpected Party, 5-1. Hawken Risque, 6-1. And 7-1 Bar. Sean, any big fancies in this race?
Not big, but Tommy's Oscar I wouldn't give a chance to as favourite. I'm not going to lie to you. I think a bit dodgy on his jumping, and left-handed he was jumping out to the right the last day. I wouldn't be having him. I thought Boot Hill was the standout on form. There's no doubt about that. I don't think he does have to give him a £5 penalty, but he done a lot wrong the last day at Kempton. He was very keen, and Hawken Risk kicked away, and you thought for a second after everything that's had to happen here, is he going to go and get him? But he picked him up in the end and won quite nicely. He was second behind Jambon at Sandown. And I think my biggest worry here would be the Gary Moore horse if he goes. I'm not too sure if he's going to go or not. But if the Gary Moore horse is not in here, I'll be having Boot Hill every day of the week over Tommy's Oscar.
Yeah, for me, the main win selection would be Gary Moore's Haddocks de Zobo if he turns up. I like how he won his last 2 races, and Doncaster tends to suit front runners if you can pace it correctly. You can kick off the home bend, although it's a long way home. I think there's 4 fences in the straight. You can win by front runner at Doncaster, and I'd give Saint Seagal an each way chance, 20-1. He's run well the last twice, 2 nice wins. He's seems to jump well. And Jane Williams had a good season, so give him a chance. Tom?
Yeah, look, it's tricky for me, this one. I think there's horses you can pick holes in everywhere in it, isn't there? Haddocks de Zobo, is he going to turn up over only 14 days after winning? Not so sure. Boot Hill has got question marks, but is probably the standout, as Sean said. Harry Fry, I saw him say that they were thinking about a festival handicap. So if they're thinking about that, I don't know. Are they going to run here? Would he go up much off of 148? I don't know. And Tommy's Oscar, yeah, I'd be keen to take him on all day long. So, God, I have no selection really, to be honest.
Andrew?
Haddocks de Zobo, Nap, and next best.
Fair enough. That was easy.
He is improving at a rate of knots. He won handy at Doncaster. He absolutely battered him. Then at Warwick, he's a controlled tearaway if ever is such a thing. He loves jumping fences. He gains length. Yeah, pretty much, Tom. Yeah,
Gary Moore.
But it's a Gary Moore horse that can actually jump. He out from the front, he looks like he's going a million miles an hour. He probably is, but he just keeps going and going and going and going. I think he will run, and the reason why the interview Jamie Moore done after he won at Warwick was, once they're in this kind of form, why would you stop them running?
Fair enough.
So I think he will turn up. I think 5-2 is a very, very decent price. I think if he gets let loose in the front, they're not catching him.
I suppose if he runs, you'd have to stand up and take note. And I think he probably would be the bet if he ran.
And the same as John, how in the name of God is Tommy's Oscar 7-4?
Oh, poor old Tommy. Poor old Tommy. The 205, the Rosemary Hurdle, Grade 2, Epiton 4-6, Molly's Ollie's Wishes in here 4-1, Martello Sky 9-2, Anna Benina 7-1, and then 14-1 Bar.
I was meant to take this race out. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's terrible. We'll be quick with it. Epiton should win. Sean?
Listen, I'm giving up if Epiton doesn't win this. I think 4-6. If she's 4-6 on the day,
I hope you don't win now. I don't see why.
Listen.
Turn up. Doesn't he turn up?
Listen to me. Is Epiton at 4-6? She should be 2-5 or 1-3. I don't. If she hasn't a hope at Cheltenham, if she gets beaten this, I think her form is just miles better than any of these in here. And if she runs, I'll be taking 4-6.
Right. So if Epiton doesn't win, I'll be taking applications for a replacement for Sean in the coming weeks.
Yeah. I give up.
Tom?
Yeah, Epatante wins, but how worried would you be, Sean, about your little legend behind you, Constitution Hill? How worried would you be if she got beaten?
None at all. Absolutely zero.
Doesn't matter what she does.
Confidence, I like it.
Zero.
The 240 at Doncaster, the River Don Novices Hurdle, Grade 2.
My opinion, no?
Everton's, I'm not even spending more time. 3 miles, half furlong. This is always an absolute slog of a race for novices. Stay Away Faye, 9-4 favourite. Maximilian, 9-2. Rock My Way, and I think he'll run here, is 6-1.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm on the wrong race. Why are we not doing this race? This is way better than the Epatante race. That's my bad. The 3:15 at Doncaster. The Galore race.
Or on the page, right in front of you.
The Galore race. I just clicked to the next race, didn't even look at the time. The Grade 3 Handicap, 3 miles.
You said the time of the race, and 3 of us went, what the fuck?
To be fair,
Yeah, that's not on my list.
The heads went down. Like,
that's a good race. I like that race.
go back and give the winner.
No, it's gone. Give the winner.
Wins.
No, Tom, you're not going to win that race after running 2 races in your life. Not having it.
Yeah.
Too hard. Yeah, but sure, it's just too hard of a race. It's like the Albert Bartlett.
It's fine.
Twig.
I actually think John McConnell's horse will win it.
All right, Witchy.
He's really slow and just keeps going. He's kind of like Bardenstown Yak.
No.
Jesus.
That
Did the Cobb
name
win
is
this race a
banned
couple of
from
years
the
ago?
podcast.
Huh?
Did the Cobb win this race? Is it?
It is. The Cobb won it, yeah. It is.
Yeah,
No,
it needs some stamina.
Oh, this diabolical, like.
This is up and down on the spot.
3:15, the Skybet Handicap Chase. Scalaw is favourite, 4-1. Captain Ord, I hate that horse. 7-1. Tea for Free, 8-1. Dusart, 10-1. I hate him as well. Mr. Coffee, 12-1.
Suppose you hate him as well.
No, he's just funny because he should win loads of races and never does. He's a bit like McFeast. 14-1 bar. He is though.
That's a touchy subject.
Whoa.
Headgear, application of cash, nothing fucking works. Anyway, Andrew, who wins Skybet Chase? Sean. Tom, do you want to give the winner?
Dickhead. Oh, that one's not right. No. That horse breaks my heart. It really, really does break my heart.
I fucking love him. I really love him.
You love him. I does my head in.
Tom, unfortunately, you're just the brunt of a Dave attack that needed to happen, and you just had to get in the backhand of it.
Oh,
How did you win that?
I always win. I'm so glad we done this race now. Tom, do you want to give us the winner?
Yeah, Gallo. Yeah, mad. It was mad keen on him for the race that got called off. And yeah, really, really keen on him again. I think that form stands up, and yeah, it'd be interesting. What were they saying? I know you said this before last day. Because for me, if you've waited this long, I'd go straight to Cheltenham with him off this match.
No, the break they were saying because they so big of a break, they had 2 quick runs and they wanted to leave him off.
They actually said after he won the Paddy Power that this would be the way they go. This is always the target.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I just kept him to Cheltenham, maybe. But what are they going to run him in the Ryanair?
I'd say so.
Or skip it.
There you go.
What's the 3 mile race? What's the 3 mile race at Aintree? You know the one that Sam Brown was at last year?
The bowl?
The handicap? The big handicap?
Oh, big handicap.
Oh, yeah. Happy Go Lucky won it as well at one stage, didn't he?
You surely go to Cheltenham if he runs that, if he goes that well there.
Surely.
There you go, lads. 66-1 for the Ryanair. You heard it here first.
Gallo.
He has Gallo right down 4 times. Are you going to give a reason? Or?
He's up £8 for beating French Dynamite, which is the form's working out quite well. His jumping needs to improve a bit, but I think he's still miles ahead of his mark, and I think he just should win.
Sean?
Yeah, got a lot here. The only thing is going up and trip, but I don't think it'll be an issue. I think he'll come on a lot for the first day in a handicap. Now, halfway down the back at Cheltenham, I was thought we had a losing docket there, but he done very well to get back up. He beat Midnight River, as you said, who went on and won the New Year's Paddy Power, and French Dynamite ran no disgrace the weekend. I think 4-1's a good price here, and we're all over Gala.
Yeah, I think the step up and trip Vat will do is jump in favours.
Yeah, I like Gala too as well. He looked in trouble at Cheltenham, but generally before that he'd been a horse that was able to lie up at the pace. So I think 3 miles, a little bit slower pace would suit him. He'll lie up at the pace Doncaster and do the business. I think we're all fans of Gala here.
Mm-hmm.
There was one I just wanted to give a shout out to down the market was D Machine, Kerry Lee's horse. She's in absolutely fine form. She had 4 runners in the last 14 days, 2 winners in the second and an unseat. Her horse is a really good form, and I thought he could run a nice race here.
Yeah, nice horse. He's a big, huge unit of a horse, Stafford.
Hence the name, the machine.
Yeah, he's a machine. The 2:11 at Fairyhouse on Saturday. The Solarina Mares Novice Hurdle, Grade 3, 2 miles, 2.5 furlongs. No betting. Liberty Dance, C'est La Vie, Astro Diamond, Feddens, Hackett at Tabert, Jetara, What Could Have Been, and Goody Two Shoes. Tom, who's going to win?
I went down the route of Astro Diamond not running here and her running in the Grade 1 at Dublin Race Festival, which she's shown she can mix it in that company. I don't see why you wouldn't go there. And my selection is Jetara. 10 stone 10 on her back. I think that high definition form, that was her first run over hurdles. And I think that form is going to be very, very good. I think high definition is maybe slightly underestimated. I think he's going to be better than people think over hurdles. Jetara ran well and was well supported, and Parmian is one of the best workhorses around apparently. So yeah, I think Jetara's got a hell of a chance here.
Andrew,
if Astro Diamond does run here, I'd be very hopeful she'd win. I think she's been getting a little bit of a few lessons. Her last 2 runs in Grade 1s. If she runs here, I expect her to win. If not, she, as Tom says, she'll probably end up at Dublin Racing Festival next week. And if she does, I really like C'est La Vie. I think she's a very good mare. She didn't get the run of the race at all at Downright at the start of the season. She won the last day, beating one of Gordon's horse. I can't remember the name, but done it really, really well. I think she's a very good mare in the making. I think she will win if Astro Diamond doesn't turn up.
Sean.
Yeah, I thought Liberty Dance, they might save over the Dublin Race Festival, the handicap on the second day. Astro Diamond, I put her up at Cheltenham a while back. I think she'd take a serious bit of beating here now. Back in against her own sex, if she ran, I'd love to see, is she that stamp above them after running the Grade 1s behind Faso Vega. If she runs here, but if not, then Jetara, the same as Tom. I thought she ran very well the last day behind high definition.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of these don't run. Like Tom said, maybe Astro Diamond won't run, and maybe there'll be 6, maybe 5 runners, and then it'll be a toss-up between Jetara and Haka de Tabert. I thought she was really, really impressive. Her first time over hurdles, beating Ava Grace, Loella, some other okay mares, but she absolutely battered them that day. Basically on the bridle by 11 lengths. But Jetara's form, if you're a high definition fan, you'd like to see that form enhanced. So it'd be between the 2 of those. And then the last one for this week is on Sunday at Naas, and it's the Limestone Lad Hurdle Grade 3. Bob is finally back over 2 miles, which myself and Andrew have been campaigning for since it was clear as day he doesn't stay from the start of the season. No betting, but the Rasso is in here. Sean, what rating will the Rasso run to on Sunday?
I was just about to ask you that, Dave. I reckon it might just be about 150.
Yeah, possibly 151 if he gets out the right side of the bed. Maybe 149. Highland Charge, Bob Ollinger, Cashback, Derry Lad, Grand Raw, Meet and Greet, Anna Vanina, and Echoes in Rain. I'm not the biggest Bob fan, but Bob will win Sunday. Andrew?
This is make or break time for Bob, more or less. If he doesn't win, you haven't a clue what you're going to do with him. If he does win, he's going to absolutely bolt up. I've been saying it before, even the start of the season, before he ran over 2 miles, 2 mile 4. He's not to get him back to 2 miles. Let him bowl along, let him jump out in front and see what happens. If he wins this really well, look, the obvious target is Cheltenham and champion Hurdle. He won't beat any of them in that, but it'll be nice to see him put in a really good performance. He didn't stay at Christmas time. He got outstayed by Home by the Lee at Naas as well. Hindsight's not bad form whatsoever, but I think this is the trip he wants these days. Drop down, let the ball out in front, and hope he wins and wins well.
Yeah, look, I honestly think he'll win. I think he travels so well. You want to keep him on the bridle for as long as possible, and he should be able to travel all over these yaks on the bridle. Tom?
Wow, I think you're being very harsh, lads. I think there's certainly one in there down at the bottom of the weights.
It's going to be some crack watching down too. No, there's 2 horses going down to the last time. Imagine seeing Echoes and Rain and Bob fighting out a finish. Holy God.
Imagine.
Are you telling me? No, I'm not having this. Are you telling me you're going to pick against Bob and you're banging on about Bob for 3 fucking years? Like, you even became more of a Bob fan than he did.
I did for a time, yeah, but I mean, just on last season, wasn't he?
Went out to the stable there. Oh, Andrew, you should see him. He's so big and lovely, and oh my God,
he hated him until the day.
Oh, he's a machine, Andrew.
When I said to him when he won that bumper at Gowarn, I said this thing's going to win Ballymore, and I got shit for him for a solid 8 months until he went out and seen him. Went, oh my God, look at him.
Oh, he's the most lovely looking thing I ever seen. Go on, pick against him.
I will. So Echoes in Rain runs in this of 10 stone 10. She's really well suited by the conditions. This is a grade 3. So this mare hasn't run outside of grade 1 class since April 2021 at Fairyhouse. She's managed to win her grade 1 novice. And then she's managed to be 7 outside Honey Someone.
Sorry, Tom, I didn't mean brag. Is that the break?
I literally heard a snap.
Did you hear that? For fuck's sake.
Whoops. What's wrong with these people? Jesus.
What's wrong with people picking against Bob, Andrew?
Yeah, quite happy to just pick what I think will win the race.
This is what happens though. Every time he's on a horse and then he deserts him, he wins.
Do you know what I hope happens to you, Tom, for this? Do you know in the NFL when they win the game and they Gatorade the coach? Hope the next time you're out in Henry's, Jason does that to you.
Yeah, fine. Oh look, I wish them all the best with Bob, and I'd love to see him win. But I just after the last day at Fairyhouse, Echoes and Rain has been on my list, and it was interesting to hear Willie talk about her and say, they put the hood on her at Cheltenham. They've taken the hood off her now. I think they've played around with a couple of things. Her flat form massively improved, and I don't think she was done with that day at Fairyhouse. I think she was still going very well. She got a pearl of a fall, so once she's okay after that is the main issue. But I think she's a very good mare, and I think off 10 stone 10, which look, let's face it, there's question marks around some of these. Like Girasso is going to run to his level, but he's got to give her £16. So I think she'll beat him. There are question marks around Bob. He ran a great comeback race and then didn't run very well the last day. And yeah, fine, you can say he didn't stay, but for me, he was off the bridle and way down the back. And then you're into cashbacks and horses like that. I think she'd be a fairly short price, but I really do think she's got a hell of a good chance.
Sean.
Yeah, no, Bob be in the bin now for me. I couldn't back him with stolen money. Just looking at him now, he probably went up to 3 miles because they're racing all at Christmas, but that was madness stepping all the way up. He never had a chance there.
Andrew's right down here. The worst thing he ever did in the history of the show was get Sean on. Yeah.
Tom. Actually, wait a few minutes. I'll show you. I couldn't be touching Bob now. No, listen. I couldn't be touching Bob.
This has reminded me of many times when Tom gave up on a horse, and me and you
That's
backed him.
what I told you.
Me and you backed him. It happened numerous times, and what happened?
They would.
Application of Andrew and Dave's cash help horse over line.
Yeah,
Wins.
There's something wrong with him. He's not the same horse he was, so I couldn't be laying a penny on him. And I reckon he's what price he gonna be? Like probably 5 to 4, something like that. Definitely couldn't be backing him at that price. Echoes and Rain. She's Echoes and Rain. What's she gonna do here? I'm not too sure. But he's getting £9 off the rest. So if he doesn't win this, good night Vienna. He's done. Finished.
Vienna.
Okay, naps and next bests.
Go ahead.
Sean, you can go first.
Ooh,
Sean, just before you do that, this has got to be a match bet then with Bob. And are you taking Echoes and Rain, Sean?
I'd like the field, but if you make me take Echoes and Rain, fair enough.
Matt, are we on?
I will take any horse against that dog that travels and spits the dummy out.
Hold up now.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
You don't have to. I will.
Talking about Bob.
I'm team Bob now. I'm all for Bob now.
Whoa. If this is going on, I want the Paisley Park one as well.
No, I'm not doing
Don't be a
Paisley.
bottler.
I'm not being doing Paisley Park one.
Look,
No,
little
no.
bottlers.
No,
King Bob is back. All hail King Bob.
I like Paisley Park. I just don't think his form is all that good now as an 11-year-old. But I'm team Bob. I'm all for it. Henry is back.
So me and you are on, Dave.
Rachel's the queen. Give me 2 points.
Grand.
Fair enough, Tom. So we're taking the field and they're taking Bob.
No, you're
No,
taking Echoes and Rain.
That yak Echoes and
Echoes
Rain.
and Rain.
Echoes and Rain, yeah.
Fair enough. I have to go with it.
Naps the
Okay,
next
deal.
best.
2 points each. Lovely.
2 points each. Sean.
4 points you've got to look forward to now, Sean.
Sean, don't drink. I'll have
Yeah,
his one.
I'll get them to you, Tom. Don't worry.
Do you actually not drink?
No. Tito.
Oh, wow, that's a 3 days drinking for me. Oh, amazing.
You spend a weekend with us next week, you'll end up drinking.
Yeah, Tom, I could be.
Drink them.
Sean, your nap and next best.
Nap Gala and next best. Protectora.
Andrew.
Nap is Haddock's Zobo next best Paisley Park.
My nap, same as Sean. Galo. Next best if he runs. Haddock's the Zobo. Tom.
My nap is Protectorate. I think he's a good thing this weekend. And my next best is Echoes and Rain. My next best would be Gallo though as well. So I think we're all pretty strong on him.
Tom, I have something that might be just for you.
Yes, Sean. Oh, I want that on the wall. That can go next to Zoff. That can.
That's gonna be the new photo that's gonna go there from next week, Tom.
I fucking hope it stays fine for the Tui. On that note,
He really does. He really does.
yeah, I do. I'm not a hater like you, Tom.
Hater.
That's
Haters
good.
gonna
I'm
hate.
glad we're not hating.
You sitting fucking at home in your little place with the dead body, praying Fernie Hollow got injured all season. I know how you'd be, and that's fine. Be that way. You don't want me to win back. That's okay.
I didn't need to pray that Fernie Hollow got injured. Trust me.
We're better off praying McPhee's fucking finished out a race. On that note, do the usual. Like and subscribe. Leave the comments in the section below.
Do you know what? The Royal Rumble's on the weekend. I have a feeling there's going to be a Royal Rumble on the double race.
These boys are going to Gowran tomorrow. There's going to be some crack at that.
We're going to Gowran.
Tom's not going.
We're going to Gowarn.
Tom's not going.
I'm not going. Unfortunately, I'm too busy.
Come on, you come. It's only down the road from you. Come on.
Nah, I've got to work. Can I just give you who my anti-post on?
All right, we will see you Sunday for another episode of.
I know, Andrew. You'll love this. You will love this. You
have 3 minutes starting from now.
I don't need 3 minutes. Jesus, I don't need 3 minutes. No. So the horse is entered. Well, not entered yet, but the horse is going to run in the Fox Hunters. So I'm taking on Andrew, and it's Chatham Street Lad.
I got
Mick
some
Winter
shit over this horse. And now,
Oh.
everyone thinks he's going to fucking win.
Oh.
Who?
Cheltenham Street Lad. Tom,
Oh.
is he out hunter chasing?
So Chatham Street Lad is out hunter chasing. He is entered on Sunday in an open, so he needs to win on Sunday to get into it. He's already won one open. He had a lovely little run around in Ballindennis on the 4th of December. And then on the 1st of January at Ballindennis, he came out and won.
You a big fan of Ballindennis, Tom? Go up there, lad.
What?
My God.
Are you a bit... Stop. Are you...
Oh, those are the giggles.
Absolute joke.
Oh, such a
I'm as
selection.
much a fan of Ballindennis as I am Rock and More. So,
Where's he going?
Hey, listen, Tom, look what happened. The
Anyway,
last
keep
time we
going.
looked at point-to-point videos, it went very well, so you go away there.
Exactly. And I watched this point-to-point video, Sean. I think that's the difference now sometimes.
Was he the quickest on the day, Tom?
I'm back. I was saying, do you go to Ballindennis? Then it's
I can't say words.
just go on. man.
Ballindennis.
I don't care anymore. Go on.
Ballindennis. It's
I
not
think
that
that's
hard.
my hope anyway, so let's go on.
He does. He's fantastic Cheltenham form. He's been amateur or novice rider ridden in point-to-point twice now. And I think he'll win at the weekend looking at the race. Mick Winters is actually hitting a little bit of form. He had a dead heat today. And some of his other runners, he's had 2 seconds and a third as well. From
One
limited
from
running.
79 he is in the last 6 years.
No, he's 1 out of 7 in the last 14 days. But Chatham Street Lad has got great Cheltenham form. He's 11 now, but that gives him plenty of age. I think those older horses do well in this race. I'll take on that Billaway all day long. The Cheltenham form stands out for me. And I think he's going to have a great chance, to be honest. He's 20-1. I've had a few quid on. And I'd do so again before the weekend, I think.
Yeah,
The side
there you
even
go.
know you got sacked, Sean.
Tom is getting his anti-post bet in. For what it's worth, whatever your man Christie runs in that race will win it. So if it's Fossilay, he'll win. And if it's fun,
Fossilay is running in that. Wing leader is going to Aintree, and the other fella is
Punchdown.
Stratford.
Yeah.
He's gone to Stratford or something.
Is Wing Leader going to Aintree, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, Chatham Street Lad definitely wins that. Wing Leader is running against Chatham Street Lad on Sunday, actually.
There's 3 wins for Doug Christie. He's winning them all. Hunter Chases, sign him up, write it down.
Then
Back
you
it.
should start watching them point-to-point videos.
GSC.
GSE, what? GCSE? You doing some of those now?
Guess you can't do it that way, Andrew. It doesn't work.
Yeah. GBC. Just back Christie.
JBW.
Just back Willie.
JBW,
Why
Doug
did I say
Christie, just back winners.
No, just back Willie's. Wins everything.
Just back winner. God, you sound like another podcast now.
Go watch the podcast. Let's call him out. Come on. Man,
No, we're not doing that. No, we're not getting on to that.
Come on now. We're all podcast buddies here now. Don't be a dick.
They've been a coward.
Don't be a dick.
No, it's a certain podcast. I just can't listen to it.
For any other things, we do like all other podcasts.
Makes my skin crawl.
Podcast.
And
I think I know who he's on about. You're on about Johnny's knee. See, straight away. Why can't you just say it? It's not like they bloody watch this.
Tom
Tom
stopped as fast as Mac Feast did there. See you Sunday.
Oh, Mac Feast. He was literally in the gym an hour ago telling me, I love Mac Feast.
I do.
I love Mac Feast.
This it?
Yeah, see you Sunday.
See you Sunday.